If I didn't have that pressure, I would have enjoyed my younger years. And honestly, I kind of wish I had, because you're never going to get it back. It takes the flavor out of life. Every day, like, it felt like I was going to drown.
We can live this grand life, but it comes with X, Y, and Z.
And as long as you stay in the game, you're fine.
Can you see the diamonds?
All good? All right, well, cheers to another year.
To another year.
And an even more successful 2025.
Yes, my friend. We're doing this last year, and it didn't go well.
It did not go well. But here we are.
12 months later.
12 months later.
In a different location.
Maldizzle.
Paradise, bro.
Yeah.
I come to a conclusion. It can't get better.
I told you.
It can't get better.
Especially like when you live in Dubai, Maldives is it's like going to the countryside.
Yeah, this is making me panic, bro. How am I supposed to afford this at a consistent level? You're making me re-question my goals and dreams, bro. Because damn, £80 for a burger.
Yeah, but you are also the most expensive resort in Maldives. Not all places are like this, bro. Enjoy.
Well, thank you. I have to the fullest. Literally walked down here, snorkeled, saw a turtle, saw reef sharks. Bro, this is literally my lawn. Told them to get the f*** off. To get the f*** off my lawn, bro.
He was very inconsiderate.
Very inconsiderate. But then I appreciated their beauty from afar.
So you got some good footage on the GoPro, yeah?
It's all in here, my brother.
I've had years like this in the past, or I guess 1 year specifically, but I think this is another one of those years where some years, bro, you just gotta get through it. It's just staying in the game. And that's where I've actually seen so many people mess up, is like things get tough and they think it's gonna stay like that forever. And they just quit, they just get out the game. And for me, it's not even like this year the businesses failed or personal relationships failed or this or that, or like my health failed. Everything actually went swimmingly this year. Bro, I was just drained this year.
It took a lot of effort to keep swimming.
Exactly. Like I was swimming every day. Like it felt like I was gonna drown, but I just woke up and just showed up. And I know that it doesn't go like that forever. And in the same way, you know, you're cognizant, you know, that there's some years where, bro, you're just like, how's everything going right? And how do I feel this good? Some years are like that. You know that that's not gonna last forever. And I've been wise enough to know that's not gonna last forever. But this was definitely one of those years where I was just like, tread water, keep your head afloat. And for me, it was more just like emotionally, spiritually, like energy wise, like it was just one of those years I had to just get through it and know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So for anyone watching this, like there'll be years where it sucks, and that's fine. It's not gonna stay like that. And there'll be years where things are going so incredibly well, it's like you're favored by God. Like you really, that year or that period of your life, you're like, I am favored by God. You know, he'll come back and he'll test you.
So amor fati means amor fati, stoic, the love of fate. So basically, like the Stoics believe that whatever happens comes your way, just embrace it, enjoy it, and understand that it's meant to happen to you, whether it's bad or good.
You love your stoicism these days.
Yeah, come on, bro.
The only thing I warn you about stoicism, I think mainly it's they don't want to feel the bad things as badly, or they want to know how to handle bad things. But like your superpower is you have such like a rich experience of emotions. So yeah, maybe if you practice your stoicism some more, like rather than your low being here, your low's here. But I'm telling you, if your low's here, your high will be here as well.
Yeah.
Because if your high is here right now, you'll feel your high here because you're going to callous yourself. And I think that's one of the things that people really don't realize about stoicism. It takes the flavor out of life. So for me, like, bro, I couldn't live any other way. Like people would shut down if they had this much responsibility at this age. Okay, business is one thing, but to have like business at the level that we do, social media at the level we do, so many opinions, so many views, blah, blah, algorithms, blah, blah, all this shit. Our health at the level that we do, like the amount and intensity in which we train, but then also like I don't work 16 hours a day. I know that's crazy, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't work 16 hours a day. I'm not in my office 7 days a week grinding my blah. No, like we live our life.
We've got a good social life.
Great social life.
But you know what it is? Like I also, applaud you for that. Like we're in these environments, right? We had to take a little work trip. When we come here with all the camera gear, we come here with our laptops, and we might not be on every single meeting, but we're on a lot of meetings that matter. We're filming, we're doing things like it's so easy just to like, I want to enjoy the sunset and just, have a drink and laugh. But it's like, no, let's shoot a podcast, let's shoot a YouTube video. Even though that's like the bare minimum of work for us, like there's so much more that goes behind the scenes, we're still doing it. We're staying consistent. You operate at such a high level and you push us to operate at such a high level. And same with training, same with being social, same with everything, same with like working. We do it at such a high level, but even like taking time for yourself, like, we do it consistently and well balanced. And I know you hate the word balanced, but it's our balanced. We got our non-negotiables. It's like we can live this grand life, but it comes with X, Y, and Z.
Correct.
We go to these grand places. We're still gonna wake up in the morning, go for a run, or go play tennis, or even though that's not like a heavy task, but we gotta get some movement done today.
Yeah.
Like we gotta get moving, and we gotta shoot some stuff. We gotta make sure that we're constantly ahead. Obviously got a couple of hours in between to enjoy and live life, but I think the moral of the story is that we're very consistent, and that's led by you.
First of all, thank you. I appreciate that. And second, that's what I'm saying, bro. You just gotta stay in the game.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they tap out. And as long as you stay in the game, you're fine. You know, it really is a marathon, not a sprint. You'll be playing this game of life a long, long time. Don't tap out. Don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your ambitions. Just stay in the game. If you can't run, crawl. Like, bro, I've had years where I could barely even crawl. This was one of those years where, like, I ran, bro, but, like, I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack every minute of it. It's not always gonna be fun. It's not always gonna be easy. I could do an event, sell millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on Hoovers. It doesn't matter what I sell. That is the power of a personal brand. And that's the thing that, like, I've sat on and I've been so grateful for this year is personal brand. And, like, looking back at building a personal brand for 9 years, and anyone watching this, I recommend start thinking about building a personal brand. I got so lucky, bro. I really don't know anyone else who recorded their life as they were struggling and on the come up. I don't know why I did it. Once again, it was probably because I had no friends.
What got you into YouTube?
It's because I didn't have many people relate to me. Like, you know, now you've got like 9-year-olds who are like, I'm on monk mode.
Yeah.
Like, part of me is like, bro, you're 9. Like, just live like also, by the way, if you're 9, like, just be 9, bro. Like, honestly, stop it. Like, I see these kids, they're like, I'm gonna make something of my life and move to Dubai. Like, Dubai is not the answer to everything. Like, I don't know where this things come from. Like, yeah, I'm gonna like hustle and move to Dubai. Like, you're 12, bro. Just chill out. Like, and the other thing is, like, I started building my businesses and stuff like that when I was 13. I mean, I got into self-development at 13. Started building my first business, flipping Instagram accounts at 14. Started entrepreneurial ventures there. That was because, like, I saw what was happening with my mom. If I didn't have that pressure, I probably would have just enjoyed my life. Like, I would have enjoyed my younger years. And honestly, I kind of wish I had, because you're never gonna get it back. Like, you even tell me stories sometimes of you, like, in your teenage years, and I'm like, man, I wish I had that. Because there's no amount of money that can buy those memories back. You know, going back to the personal brand thing, it's just like, I'm so grateful that I recorded and I built my personal brand and I developed those skills all those years, because, like, every single person, bro, is winning through their personal brand these days. Like, elections are won through personal brands. Why do you think Trump wants to hang out with these random 20-something-year-olds? No, he knows. Like, apparently it was his son who was the strategist behind it, but, like, they know that's how you win elections. You know, you think Elon Musk bought X just because he believes in free speech? I mean, maybe some might say so. For me, I just think he understands the power of a platform and to be able to spread your message. So, you know, it's a genius chess move. I guess that's something that I've really just been ruminating on this year, because we make millions and millions of dollars a year in profit from glasses. Now, here's the thing. If you have a personal brand and your is bad, that's not gonna work, right? And even, like, for me, you know, because people will be like, oh, but you have a personal brand, but you're selling blah, blah. I'm so happy now that we stopped selling courses in October. All of my online businesses are all subscription. If my stuff I have no business, because I have to earn my customers' business every single month. Flowzy, my main software company, subscription. Digital Launchpad, subscription. I have nothing else. So I'm not saying that just because you have a personal brand, well, actually, I will be honest, if you do have a personal brand, you could probably still sell, but I don't think you should. I think you should genuinely take pride in what you do. And I take pride in all the products that we have. And I think, you know, I was gonna go back to this later and we'll touch on that with the whole split focus. But yeah, bro, like, a personal brand is just so powerful. I'll be honest, even for me, like, I was actually, with the last event, I was a little like, oh, I don't know how well it'll do. We're selling software, like, we're selling the main software and then a couple other, like, proprietary software that we created specifically for that event to help people with their problems. Like, I'm like, oh, I don't know how well it'll do. Like, outperformed everything we did. And I think if you can get attention and you have a product or a service or a solution that the market wants, you'll never ever have to worry about money again in the rest of your life. And it's just, like, so cool to me having Big Day, having Gadget, like, all these other companies that we make millions and millions of dollars with, and that's all possible because of my personal brand. If anyone's ever been on the fence about it, I think it's a great decision, and I don't think people should try to build a massive personal brand like me. When I say a personal brand, I'm talking a micro niche personal brand. 5, 10,000, 20,000 people of ideal prospects. I also don't think there's any point in just trying to, like, get views for the sake of getting views. I think it's dumb. Like, have a strategy behind it, have a reasoning behind it. Life lesson number 3 is, on the flip side of it, like, split focus. And I want to make it very clear for everyone watching this, because I know even I get high level entrepreneurs are like, what's your strategy to manage all of these different businesses? I'm like, it's stupid. And that's the God's honest truth. I make so much less money in the short term because I have multiple businesses. It's not smart to have split focus. Now I am lucky with my software companies. I always have more of a technical co-founder. Obviously with Gadget, I mean, we were running it, I say it was still more than $1 million a year, but like a small business for, a long time. And then obviously Alex Hawkers acquired 40% of it, took a 40% stake. And like having that kind of business partner that's sold $1 billion or almost $1 billion worth of eyewear through e-commerce, like you couldn't have a better business partner than that. So I'm fortunate to have a great team at all these companies, but it's still big day, once again, co-founder. It's just not smart. I do it because I think 10, 20, 30 years out, I'm in this really cool position where I'm in multiple different verticals. Like I have a mobile app on the iOS and Google Play Store. So I've got like a mobile app. I've got multiple software companies. I've got multiple physical product brands. For a long time, I had a digital product business. It gives me the flexibility and I like that, but I know in the short term, all of these businesses do underperform because of that split focus. I think everyone looks at like guys like Elon Musk and they're like, but Elon Musk can do it. Well, you're not Elon Musk and neither am I. So I try to do my best. I think I've done a pretty good job at running those companies as a whole, but definitely it's something I've been more conscious of this year. Like actually this year, one big word that just kept coming up in my mind is like commit. And like the power of just commitment to like anything in life, whether that be committing to one sport. We do multiple sports. Some of the year I'm doing tennis, some of the year I'm doing boxing, some of the year, we're about to go into like High Rocks training because we're doing a company High Rocks as like a company challenge, like marathon training. And part of me is just like, oh, what would happen if you just committed to like one avenue? Yeah, something that just always plays on my mind. And it's definitely something this year I've thought about more and more is just, I don't know if it's particularly wise to keep all these ventures running. Doesn't mean I'm going to shut any of them down, but 2025, I have to like just get even smarter with how I assign my energy.
Yeah, you've done well. But you don't want to burn out, which you haven't yet.
So I guess changing topics, one thing that changed about me this year, which was actually like quite surprising, is interesting character development, is I became a lot more spending value conscious. And here's what I mean by that. Like I've always had this rule. Once again, just going back to like people are like, you do this lifestyle to sell blah blah such, like if the cameras are there or not, I'm living this life anyways. Like, and I can tell you right now, I don't do any shit for social media because like I said, I made my first $1 million by the age of 18. So between 17 and 18, those 2 years put together, I made my first $1 million in actual profit, far more than in revenue. Bro, you know what most people do when they make $1 million at 18? They go buy a bunch of supercars. To impress people, to this, I just didn't care. I bought my first car at the age of 23. My first supercar I bought wasn't even for me. I gifted it. My first Ferrari I ever bought was a gift. I didn't even care.
You built 5 schools before you bought your first car.
Yeah, exactly. I built 5 schools for kids, schools for thousands and thousands of children before I ever bought my first supercar. Now, I will say, when I was 18, I spent a lot of money on watches because that was something that actually I enjoyed. And I think the thing is, I've always spent authentically. Like even at the house now, bro, I could afford to have multiple hypercars sitting on the lot. I just don't care. I buy the things that I like. So I've always been like that, spending money on things that for me, I find value in. But I think this is the first year where I actually start to question the value, because going back to the point, people are like, you spend so much money, or like you do this lifestyle, blah, blah. I invest 70% of everything I make. How much more responsible do you want me to be at the age of 24? I'm 24. Listen, it's very different. I would rather have $100,000 to spend at 24 than $1 million to spend at 50. It's a different thing when you have money at a young age, right? So for me, I'm living a beautiful experience of life. We're here in Maldives for 4 days. It'll be $100,000, $120,000 for a 4-night trip. We go fishing this morning at $7,000 for 4 hours of fishing. I don't care. Like for me, you're never gonna get this part of your life back. But I guess this is the first year I started thinking a little bit more value of like, because I have this rule, I have to spend 30% of dividends that I take outside of the company, or dividends that I take from the company. You know, a lot of companies that don't take any dividends, we keep all the money in the company. Because I have that rule, I just found myself like spending on stuff. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter if this t-shirt costs $3,000 because okay, like I have this amount of money I have to spend anyways. But this is the first year where I started looking at things and I'm like, am I getting like ripped off here? Yeah. You know, just because I can doesn't mean I should, right? And I guess this is the first year where I looked at with spending, where I was like, no, that's not worth it, or like you could get that so much cheaper, or you could, and I was like, you would never hear that coming from me before. And maybe also that was like insecurity from my childhood, because honestly, it's way worse not having money around people that have money, because it just highlights the fact that you don't have money. Like when you don't have money and no one else around you has money, it doesn't matter. So like I remember even there was in 2017, I took my mom to Paris because she'd never been to Paris in her life, which is obviously, you know, it's ridiculous considering how close to London is to Paris. She'd never been to Paris. So I was like, I promised her that one day I would take her to Paris. I took her to Paris when I was 17. I remember she took all the toiletries from the hotel room. And I remember I had a massive argument with her. I was like, not like how dare you, but like I was just so pissed. I was like, Mom, we don't need to do this. Whatever you want, I'll buy you, blah, blah, this, that. Like just getting like so upset about it. And I think that was just simply because I was like insecure about where we came from. And I'm like, you don't need to do this anymore. We're not those people anymore. Like I think it was honestly more insecurity than anything. Whereas now these days, bro, when I fly Emirates first class, I take some of the dental kits. I'm like, I'm paying $6,000 for flight. I'm taking these dental kits. These things are useful. I feel like I've always dealt with the whole like having money thing pretty well. I was never a prick about it. But this was the first year I kind of settled into like being wealthy and like understanding that like just because something is expensive and you have the ability to, and I'm saying like the ability to spend $10,000, $100,000, and literally it doesn't even, like it's so irrelevant to you. It's such a small amount of money to you. You don't even need to think twice about it. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. And you have to actually seriously stop and question the value of that. And like, is this thing worth it? I think the next thing I took away from this year is that you want to have the richest life and not the biggest bank account. And it's something that we've always done quite well, but for me, it's really highlighted even more. Like this year, it's something I've really thought about even more. And it's funny, my business partner, I won't say specifically which one, but business partner at one of my companies, he was having a conversation with one of our other friends that we know who's worth $4 billion. And this guy doesn't want to sell his company. Worth $4 billion, takes about $200 million a year in dividends out of his company. This guy doesn't want to sell his company unless he can sell it for $5 billion. And like my business partner who lives off of a few $1 million a year, differences with him though is like he lives off a few $1 million a year, like passive. It's in bonds, it's in stocks, it's in real estate. Like, you know, he lives far, far below his means. And he was saying, he's like, listen, bro, saying to our billionaire friend, like, yo, you're worth $4 billion. I spend about a couple $1 million a year, which is still, granted, a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not. That's a crap ton of money to spend on lifestyle. For him, at least, it's living below his means. But he's like, bro, you're a multi-billionaire. I am a low multi-millionaire in my spending. There's no restaurants that you go to that I don't go to. There's no hotel that you go to that I don't go to. We split a yacht in the summer. There's nothing you do that I don't do. But yet, if you look at the richness of their life, like this multi-billion friend, he has no kids, he has no wife. This other, you know, my business partner, he has kids, he has a wife, and like you look at the richness of their life and I'm like, you are so much richer. And this guy, my business partner, works not because he has to, but because he genuinely loves what he does. Like he loves creating products. Like he loves what he does. And I look at this guy and I'm like, you're so much richer than this other guy in life. I think it's something that I've been thinking about more and more this year, just in terms of like hobbies and getting out of my comfort zone. And I think you have to be that way when you're first getting started. Like I was so like, I don't say this in any derogatory way, but honestly, I really was kind of like this for many years, like autistic. I was autistic, bro. Like unless it had something to do with the business between 2017, 2018, 2019, I don't want to hear about it. Like all I did was work on the business, read books, work on the business, read books. That was it. In bed by 10 o'clock every single night, 99 out of 100 or 100 out of 100 Oura Ring score. Like everything had to be dialed to a point. And at a certain point, I kind of like let go a little and I started having hobbies. And what's so funny is as I started getting more hobbies, my businesses grew and I actually made more money. And like, I'm at the stage now where like, even let's say fishing this morning, past me would have been like, no, I'm gonna be tired for the rest of the day and I have, you know, some important meetings to take and some important calls and important decisions to make, so I can't be tired, blah, blah, this, that. Whereas me now is like, my bank account, is this gonna give me a richer life? And if the answer is yes, I'm at that point where I realize that is really what's valuable. And I also know that's like a privileged place to come from, because me 10 years old couldn't think like that, but it's definitely something that's been on my mind a lot more. Yours. The last big takeaway from 2024 was just how much I appreciate you.
Bro, that's so sweet. You're making me blush. I appreciate you, bro.
And you. I'm sure as you just go further and further in life, you start to realize like no friendship or relationship is ever perfect. Like you're always gonna have like squabbles and tiffs and disagreements and butt heads, but like whatever. Like you're always gonna have a period where maybe a few months one person's going through some shit and they like take it out on the other person, or some months or years where the other person's going through some shit and they take it on like stuff like that's always gonna happen. I can ride through all of that, and I would hope the other person would be able to ride through those storms if I'm the one who's putting that on them, if they have a good heart. And I've just realized, bro, there's so few people in life that have a good heart. Like I'm always, I don't know why, especially considering like some of the stuff I went through growing up, like why I've always been this optimist of people are good and this. Bro, as time goes on, you really start to realize there's actually so few people with good hearts, like pure hearts. I guess this year just made me realize the circle just keeps getting smaller and smaller, and there's fewer and fewer people I want to interact with on a daily basis. So the people I do interact with, I guess I'm just becoming more and more appreciative of. So
Don't have to get nervous and play with your mic, bro. You can give us a compliment without being awkward, bro.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is I appreciate you guys.
I love you too, bro. Yesterday with some of our female friends and male friends, sitting here, down here actually on the nets, looking at the stars, we're saying how good you are at just picking the right people to be around. Like obviously, like, I wouldn't say you make mistakes. I think Louise said it. It's that people kind of grow in different directions. Or over time they show more of their character and we're like, actually let's cut that person out. But in general you got like a great score of like creating a good, you know, group of people to be around, because we all get along. We go on so many trips with so many different friends, and sometimes like more outer circle, sometimes more outer circle, Europe summers or this or that, and it's always the work trips with our work friends that always hold the best memories.
100%.
You know,
it's just crazy how many people we interact with. 99% of it off camera. Like how many famous people or people that everyone wants to be around, or how blah blah, like all this like social clout, whatever stuff. Bro, these people get addicted to our group. Like they get addicted to that feeling of being around us, because it's just like the way that we gel and like the synergy, and like it's contagious. And bro, we've had people, you know, leave the company / get let go / you know, whatever, part ways. Always the one thing that they say is like, could I hang out, or like, could you guys still invite me to stuff?
and this is not a person, this is like a handful to 2 handfuls.
Every single person, bro, every single person. Bro, I was even talking to someone like, and I say all of this with like love, like I genuinely, it means a lot to me, and it's a testament to like what we have. There's so many people where, as I said, we've parted ways, and I was catching up with one like 3 weeks ago, and this guy is doing very well financially. It's not like he's like, his life's gone to blah blah, like done very well. He's just, I've been trying to find meaning in work ever since the company, and I don't think I'll ever get this feeling back of what it's like to work / be in this environment where it's just like every day is laughter. Even if you're working your ass off, like every day is laughter, every day is joy, every day is like compassion. I feel like we're a very compassionate bunch with each other. There's no tiffs, there's no backstabbing, there's
tiffs, there's no backstabbing.
Okay, yeah, but like petty arguments.
Yeah, there are tiffs.
I'm not I mean like falling outs.
No,
there's no falling outs.
No.
There's like, okay, yeah, there's tiffs.
There's definitely tiffs. But that's healthy. You know, you spoke about some years you feel like God's on your side, and some years you feel like you're drowning. Like I felt like God's been on my side for the last 2 years, and it's scary because I don't want it to end. Like it's just gone so well. Stress, obviously, like everything comes with stress, but it's like I'd rather stress and be here than stress and not be here. But this has been a great year.
You know, it's so funny. Like last year was like, I wouldn't say it was a bad year, but it was a heavy year with just certain things in my life. And I was like, I'm so excited for 2024.
Yeah, he did say this.
Bro, I was counting the
year of the dragon.
I was counting the days down because I was like, you're the dragon. Right?
Yeah,
Chinese zodiac. It's my year. It's my year. I run this shit. All right, because I'm a 2000 baby. And then I found out Chinese New Year is in like February. So here I was thinking that I'm a dragon zodiac, and turns out I'm a rabbit. I'm year of the rabbit.
So when is year of the rabbit?
It's technically 1999, but it's February 1999 to February 2000, like February 1st or something like that.
Okay.
So here I was all these years thinking, oh, I'm a dragon, blah blah. It's like,
But why is this year the year of the dragon?
because it goes every 12 years, right? So like it's been 24 years since 2000. So it's been like 12 cycles.
Okay.
Times 2.
Okay.
It was 2000, then it would have been like 2012 year of the dragon, and then now 2024 year of the dragon.
When's year of the rabbit?
Year of the rabbit is before that, which makes sense.
When will it be year of the rabbit again?
In about 11 years. So
You got work to do.
keep
bro.
swimming.
Yeah.